Good morning. We're off for a walk with Max. It's rained in the night and just finished. It's now mid-morning, so we're going to get ourselves out for the first time today, and we're all ready for a good walk. And as you can see, Max is sporting a new collar and a new lead. We're walking out of the bottom of the village today, so that means coming down the hill, out the bottom of the village, over a stream, and then back up out the other side. And back up out the other side, that's where the fire was back in August, back in the summer. For those of you who've been watching for a while, you remember that we had a wildfire, one of the biggest ones in Portugal this year, that started pretty much here in our village from the road, the main road, and took out hectare upon hectare of woodland, farmland. Thankfully no one was hurt, and as far as we know there weren't any homes destroyed. Bombeiras did a fabulous job. But what we have been seeing over the past few weeks is clearance of the land and the burnt trees all being removed, and a lot of healthy trees that are sort of in that area. So a lot of pines being removed, which is changing the landscape quite considerably, and we just wanted to show you that today. So we're walking on up and out of the village to show you what we see. We do have to stop quite often, so Max can have some salad though on the way. So this small bridge is the lowest point in our village, and it goes over a seasonal stream which runs for about 9 months of the year. That way is back up into the village, but we are going this way. So this side of the hillside is where the fire came up, and the whole thing was covered in trees like these are now. It was all the way up, and the Bombeiras fought hard to stop it coming over the road, and the fire never jumped the road. So this side of the road was what the burnt side looked like. It was dense pine forest, brush underfoot, and some madronia and some oaks. Okay, we made it almost to the top. Whoa! Are you breathing as hard as I am?
Yeah, that's quite a hill, isn't it? Look at that though.
But this is now what it looks like. Cleared.
Ooh.
All the little wispy bits are left. And as we were coming up, I could see that they'd left maybe a dozen oak trees that looked a bit sad and stunted, but now that they're going to get all of the energy and all of the light and the rain, I'm sure they'll grow. So this is one of the young oak trees that's been left. As you can see, it's all a bit misshapen where it's just had to make the best of the light and the rain that it could get, but now it's going to have all the space and energy it needs. This side of the hill had been cleared about a year before we came to live permanently. So maybe 2.5 years ago now, and 2 years before the fire. And there were a couple of trees left right in the centre, and they weren't pines. Not sure what they were, but they weren't pine trees, so they'd been left. And Darren had photographed them many times, but when the fire came through, obviously all of this brush burnt, and so did the base of those trees that he photographed. And now they've gone as well. Everything being cleared out. And as far as you can see, right over here, off into the distance, all of that's been cleared. That's where the fire went, up and over the hills, and then off and over the mountain that I don't think you can actually see today with this low cloud. We've had this weather for coming up to 5 days now. Yep, so I'm really glad that Darren took photographs of the tree, because it was quite stunning. There are lots of burnt out tree stumps, or where the stump used to be. So these are the trees that were cut down before the fire came, but they still burnt. And now everything's being cleared and cleaned. No wonder they make easy work of it. It's amazing. So we're circling back towards our village on the opposite side of the road, where the forest is still full, and make our way back home now. But Max knows it's the way back home, so he's been a bit pulley and wanting to go in the opposite direction. He always wants to just keep on walking.
So the mushrooms that we've been picking over the last couple of months, there are some ones that are quite similar that you can't eat. This one, I believe, though, is one of the edible ones. So we'll cut it open, or cut it out, cut it off, and have a look underneath.
Yep, saffron milk cap.
And we see straight away that underneath it's orange, and very orange around the stalk here as well. And if it's fresh enough, if you cut through like that, you could also see the milk, the red milk or the orange milk coming through. So this is how we have determined that these are edible. And I'll go back and show you the other one, which I think is the non-edible one. In fact, that was a saffron milk cap, I think, but it's now just past its best by. So yeah, that is still a saffron milk cap.
Yeah, I
So
think the colour's just drained out of it because it's so old now.
That's it. So that's quite an old one.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a good example, but there are, yeah, if we see one of the ones that are similar looking, I'll show you.
And this is where the forest track pops out and meets back onto the road, and we're back into the village again. So we always like to try and make a loop rather than just walking out and doing the same walk back. And Max much prefers that as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. It'll take you on a loop if you're not doing a loop.
Yeah. He would just walk all day. But yeah. He didn't even want to come into the forest when we started this way. But he's had a good few sniffs since. And now he's always trying to find a different path off. Yes, you there. Come on.
Good lad. Come on.
Yep. And we're back again.
We're back again.
So I'm back in the bedroom and you're sitting in the window that I was working on before Christmas. It's not finished, and a couple of reasons for that. It's a much bigger job than I originally thought, albeit a small window, because when I started to take off all of the old render that was broken and green with mould, then it came to light that a lot more needs to be done, and a lot more render and rock came out of the window. So I still think it's safe and it's still working. The repairs I've done so far are solid, but I need your help. So I know there are a lot of people out there who have worked with stone before. What I would like is some simple, cost-effective ways of trying to resolve the situation I've got with this big gap at the top of the window. So if I show you what I mean. So here we have our window. As you can see, just the rough repairs that I started on the render at the side. The glass is obviously all still in and very solid. Repairs that I started on this side, and I fixed the hole that the bolt goes into. So here we have repairs starting here, and the hole, all of this is lovely and solid, it's all gone off. But what we have, and sorry if I make you sick, whoa, is a much bigger hole here. So I thought this stone came all the way to the back, but when the render was removed, all of this section just dropped out. It was literally just render, and there were little stones sitting on the top. So no matter what I do, I can't fill in that hole because everything just drops out. I've tried to make a small form to hold things in there, but I literally can't pack enough in and hold it with the form to make that work. So that's not an option for us. So yeah, any ideas that you've got for getting in there? Because other than that, I can fix all of these bits. This is easy to render, and I'll make it slope from the inside to the outside to direct water out, and then the edge around where the actual window frame fits, this one here, then I can render this because I have approximately a centimetre and a half depth to play with there, so that's fine. And then I'll re-render the base and the sides, and then once that big gap is filled in, I can re-render the top. But at the moment it's just not working. So yeah, any ideas that you've got, please leave them in the comments below. I'd be happy to read through them. I can't spend loads of money on it, and I can't take down the wall outside. What I may need to do is render the whole of that back wall, because there is a second issue that when it rains really heavily, now that there's no render up on the top portion of the window, once the wall is soaking wet, it drips in on the inside of the window. So yeah, I think the whole of the back wall where the schist is may need to be rendered to waterproof it, to make it watertight on the back. Doesn't actually come through the wall, it must just be on the bricks and on the rocks and the stones that are on the outer edge of the wall that take the water in or let the water in. So there we go. Yep. Any ideas that you can give me would be much appreciated. Thank you very much.
So now that the trees have gone, I'm really pleased that I spent quite a lot of time down there taking photographs of them, and particularly this photograph of the tree when it was still standing. I got this one printed when we went back to the UK, and I'm really pleased that I did. As you know, for the last few months I've been taking lots of photographs, particularly of mushrooms around on our land and around the surrounding forest. I've got some photographs that I'm really pleased with and really quite proud of. If you want to have a look at those photographs, I've set up a website on darkroom.com. I will leave a link in the description of the website where you can click onto them, have a look at the images, and if you want to, you can purchase one of the images printed and it'll get sent to you. So check out darkroom.com, link in the description, where it's the print shop for our photographs. I'm really pleased with this one. We're going to get this up on the wall in our house as a reminder of that last tree that was just standing down the bottom of our village and is now gone. So thank you very much for joining us on this video. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yep, thank you very much for watching us throughout the year. We really do appreciate it. We hope you had a lovely Christmas, and all of the best from Darren and I for 2024. It'll be here in a day or two. So happy new year, and we'll see you then.
Yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Take care everyone. Bye bye.